All right. It's not easy creating products consumers can't pass up, and it's even harder without spending a lot of money on R&D. Deborah Kay, author of Red Thread Thinking, is here to explain how the best companies do both. Welcome, Deborah, and tell me, what exactly is red thread thinking?
Red thread thinking is a metaphor based on an ancient Asian legend about a thread that connects people and observations in their lives. So we use that to talk about innovation.
And can anybody do it? Because right now when people think about innovation, they think about kids like Mark Zuckerberg and their keyboards and Facebook. So is it available to anybody?
Well, innovation is based on practice, not talent, so it's definitely available to anybody. And it's not just about technology. My specialty is innovating everyday products and services, the things that women buy in stores, for example.
Well, do they buy them in stores like JCPenney? Because right now, Ron Johnson's trying to turn that company around. So can you apply, for example, some red thread thinking to that iconic chain and maybe help them out?
Well, I think the retailers really do need to rethink their businesses. And what they're not doing right now is they're not reimagining how people are really getting their news and using their smartphones. And they really need to become more of the flow of news, because people do see bargains as part of the flow of daily news. And stores aren't really reacting that way yet.
And you think that'll work, that turnaround?
Yes, I really do think, well, I don't think JCPenney is necessarily doing it the right way. I think they are still trying to, from the outside, it looks like they're trying to copy Target too much, and they really need to do their own thing first.
What about Apple? Can they get their innovation mojo back after the loss of Steve Jobs? Because when you look at the stock price, it seems like they're losing a lot of mojo there as well.
Well, I think maybe the reaction to the stock price is emotional because Steve Jobs has died, of course. But right now what they need to start thinking about is what are they doing with the small devices? Because the story of the world, we have left the mass communication age. We have left the big devices. We're going to a personal communication age. That's part of the reason why Facebook is losing some of its viewers right now. What are they going to start doing with small devices to make those more active?
Well, maybe it's a zero-sum game because a lot of Apple's and Facebook's loss is going to Google. That stock is closing in on $1,000 a share. Do they have it right with their innovation into Google Glasses and Android? Although meanwhile, all their profits still come from search.
Well, I think, well, that's a very good way of building their business, right? They have a good mama format that's going to keep their business growing. Exactly. But what I think Google is starting to understand is that, you know, kids have moved, you know, when we were growing up, what was really important was cars were our symbol of freedom, right? If you look at the millennials today, only 50% of millennials today have a driver's license because their symbol of freedom and discovery is in the smartphone. They don't need a car today. So if Google continues to develop new ideas and new things in the smartphone, they're going to get those millennials to start buying those products and services. So they get it right.
So finally, how do you know in advance what the millennials are going to buy? So maybe if you invest in a company, that company will take off because they have been doing some red thread thinking.
Well, you don't always know what they're going to buy. It's a lot of trial and error with any kind of innovation. But what we do know is that what happens in the smartphone, it's your world in miniature. It's a world of fantasy. And what we do know is the more you can go to things that are iconography and visual images, and the more you can express emotions through those are the kinds of big ideas and big new products that are going to function very well there.
Excellent. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Deborah Kay,
Thank
you for watching The Street.
Thank you very much.